All right, hey there, good morning, everybody. Chris Franks with Texas West Capital. It's just after 11 a.m. Central Standard Time here on Friday, the 17th of September, 2021, in a beautiful, beautiful day here out in Bernie, Texas. Hopefully, you guys are doing real well. If you're following me on Twitter, you know I'm doing well. Three small trades for me, but nonetheless, decent bit of profit there on those USDCAD trades. What did we get? We had three trades over the course of about 3.5, 4 days. I think it's almost $3,500 profit. So not too bad, not too bad at all. We still got further upside to go with it. So looking for that pullback and then some continuation up. And, I think we might even look at that chart today here as well. So who's here already? Devin, what's going on, my man? Showing up, seeing if Hank can stir the pot. Yeah, Hank can definitely stir the pot. Hey there, Nevlusian, Rossmark. Oh my gosh, I know I'm gonna butcher your name. I'm so sorry for this. Shoy. It looks like your last name may be Niasi. I'm so sorry I couldn't pronounce your first name there, but good to have you checking in. Pumpin' Jack Flash, what's up, man? Still love that handle there. Aramis, what's going on? Good to see you here. Brian says he's long money. Oh, it's catching on, isn't it? Let me see here. Dana, what's going on? Good to see you. Aramis says that Hank's on a beach chilling. That's what he says. He's probably just got a green screen behind to make him look like he's on the beach, right? Nah. We know how the Europeans are. They love their vacations over there. What do you guys call them? Your holidays, right? Always off on holiday. Here in the U.S., we just work till we're dead. Pretty much ends up being the way it is. Let me see. Is that Haidar? Oh man, I really, I love meeting new people. I just hate butchering names. So if I do, please understand. I don't mean to do it, personally or anything. I'm doing my best here as somebody in the U.S. But good to have you here as always. Checking in there. Excuse me. So yeah, hey, listen, guys, you can join us at howtotradetowin.com. We'd love to have you there. We tried to do a 3-day, first time ever, like a 3-day trial, full access 3-day trial to Tier 3. And then we had a glitch where because you have to create bots, you have to program bots that can that can automate access for members from whatever else, in our case, from our website to Discord. And for whatever reason, it was glitching. It wasn't allowing them to have access. So we've had to rescind that for the moment. And then if you're still interested, guys, if you're interested in getting a 3-day free trial to Tier 3, and then a discount for your first month or quarter or, 6-month or 12-month, let me know. Just send me a DM there in Discord, guys. In Discord, okay? You can find me in Discord. Let me go do this real quick so you guys can know where to look here real quick, and I'll post it here as well. But right here at the top of my profile thing here, it says join us at Discord here. That link right there will get you onto the free side of our Discord server. I'll post it right in there as well. And then, like I said, just send me a quick DM and say, hey, I'm interested in the 3-day free trial. And what I'll do is I'll get back to you as soon as we get everything fixed so that it's working properly and let you know about that. Okay, guys? By the way, while you're here, make sure you start, join the market breakdown. It's going to be my weekly newsletter. Macro looks at the markets. Last week, we talked a lot about, or I talked a lot about reverse repo, what's going on with that, dollar liquidity, treasury, stuff like that, how it all kind of interplays a bit. Just to give you a better idea of what may be going on. It's not as simple as money printer goes burr, guys. It's really not. I'll be honest, it's a little frustrating when people do when people keep talking about it. Because when people say that, they really have no clue at all about how the system works, and they don't care to learn either. And so don't be that person, okay? But anyway, a lot of great stuff. And then we had a couple of setups I tossed in there as well. Every week we'll be throwing in some free setups in there. So potential money makers always going to be in there as well. Little education, market overview, stuff like that. So be sure you guys do that. By the way, while I'm here, let me see. Do that? Yeah, right here. Starting, what was this? Yesterday EWI here had this this free crypto thing here for about a week, okay? So here's the link on that. I'll post it in here real quick. And you can jump in there. You don't need a credit card or anything to sign up. You just create a free, whatever they call it, EWI members club, or I don't remember what it's called there. But anyway, you just create the free account there, and you can log in and get access to this. And then any other free stuff they do throughout the year, which they do multiple times in the year. They usually let me know, and I let you guys know. But sometimes I do happen to get things that very few other people get for you guys to get it for free. We've had some of their free educational stuff, or some of their educational stuff they've allowed me to offer to you guys for free. So make sure you're following me and always keeping up with that as well. You know, I mean, again, you know, I've got my thing and, you know, and what I do, but at the end of the day, I'm also here trying to help you guys get, you know, free information wherever I can, free content, right? Reputable content, you know, by real companies, not your fly-by-night moon boy or something, okay? We're talking about real stuff here, guys. So there you go. You can do that right there as well. Let me see here. Oh, I was talking about those trades, right? So if you follow me on Twitter, or by the way, we've got our Facebook page and our Instagram back from Facebook, and they won't let me advertise. They finally gave me the pages back, which is great, but they won't let me advertise, and they won't tell me why. They give this real general, oh, you know, we look at this and that, and you know, and all together, and you're not good enough to do it, basically is what they said. So, you know, if you guys are on Facebook or Instagram or something, you know, if you wouldn't mind sharing, you know, my posts and stuff, or directing people my way, I would really appreciate it, because Facebook is just being Facebook, and we all hate Facebook, right? I only do it because some people actually, you know, that's the only social media thing that they use. And, you know, we're always just trying to make sure that everybody knows about us. So if you guys can do that, it'd be a great bit of help. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Texas West Capital. You can find us on Instagram at, you know, instagram.com/Texas West Capital. Twitter.com/TX West Capital. YouTube.com/Texas West Capital. Twitch.tv/Texas West Capital, you know. So you can find us all out there, guys. We have got so much stuff happening over the next few months. It's going to blow your mind. I am like popping out a whole bunch of new stuff, guys. Some of it's free. Some of it's really cool and it's free. Others a little bit paid for, but a great combination of everything for all you guys, for whatever level of trader you're at, whatever you aspire to be, whatever kind of content you're looking to consume. I think we're going to have your ticket by the end of this year. Also, for those of you that are members, as I told you, we're working on getting a new managed back end for our membership services. And we're talking with one right now, and it looks like it's probably a go. And so with that, you're going to see a whole new way of accessing our educational content. So that's going to be exciting. It'll make it a lot easier, a lot better. Man, oh man, we've got so much going on. By the way, keep watching TexasWestCapital.com. It will come into use here before long. I'm going to say one other thing here. Alpha Trader. I can't tell you what that means or what that's about, but keep your ears open, keep your eyes open. Be following me. Pay attention. You'll find out soon enough. Oh, man, I'm so excited to tell you guys about that. But anyway, like I said, you can join us here at howtotradetowin.com. We'd absolutely love to have you there, guys. We got an amazing community of traders. Really just could kind of blow your mind how great they are. Really kind, helpful, all that great stuff. Who else is here? TV Canal is here. Let me see here. Michael Williams, what's up, man? XRP Bandit. Hey, man, I'm doing great. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Paul says, Gainesville, the clue is in the name. Huh? I didn't say Gainesville. What are you talking about? Love Bunny, what's up? Says, with Evergrande and all that debt and money printing, perfect storm for a market crash, and unfortunately, crypto will follow. I don't necessarily disagree. But, you know, this is something that's been building up for a few years here, guys. Really, most especially here the last couple of years, if you've been following me. You know, I've been kind of pointing you guys toward all the indicators and things that are happening, and how everything's stretched well beyond what it was, you know, at the great financial crisis in 2008. well beyond where it was at the top of the dot-com bubble, 1987, and even 1929, which is right before the Great Depression. So all these indicators and things that we watch are well beyond those levels, which they were already stretched at right before those big things happened. So yeah, and crypto being what it is, it's a risk on asset, guys. And so if the economy tumbles, everybody goes risk off, and usually the most riskiest of assets are the first thing to go. So yeah, if the economy goes down, it doesn't make any sense that Bitcoin or anything magically, remains. Now, it doesn't mean it has to happen right at the same time, but, it's as that momentum really kind of kicks in and the people just go, oh my gosh, this is really happening now. Remember, I pointed out, if you guys have been following me, I told you back in, I posted a tweet probably, within the last month, maybe a month or so ago, where I discussed, where I mentioned that 1987, the top of the market hit in August, and then we had the big drop in October. Same thing with the Great Depression. The top of the market hit in August, and we had that huge drop in the beginning of the huge drop there in October. And so here we are kind of around that same timeline. So we'll see what happens. It doesn't mean you can't go long, guys. It just means be aware of what's going on. Be aware of what's around you. Don't be blindly bullish on anything. That's just silly. Be bullish with caution. Understand what stop losses are and where they belong. More importantly, understand what risk management is, the holistic approach to risk management. Because if you aren't taking risk management seriously, you're going to lose your money, guys. There's no two ways about it. And that's just if the market's going well. The market's going bad, you're really going to lose your money. But if you want to be a trader, you don't care whether the market's going up or down. All you care about is that it is moving. Because that's where you make money. You can short a downward trending market. You can long an upward trending market. So don't get that stuff confused, guys. If you say you're a trader and you're all upset because price is going down, you're not a trader. Not yet. You can become one. Like I said, as I've shown with the here recently, gosh, all summer long, really. I did it really a lot back in the beginning of summer, and then I just did it here a lot more recently. But showing you in and out, multiple trades, time, show you the entries. I screenshot the entries, the exits. And so you get those people that say, oh, you can't make money as a trader. Don't listen to them. Yes, you can. But you have to be willing to put in the work, guys. You have to be willing to do what's required to be successful at it. And that means risk management. First and foremost, above anything else, guys, risk management. I don't care what market you're in. If you're still YOLOing on everything, max leverage, hoping that it goes up, you're going to lose. And the sad thing about that is, you're going to lose, and right when you're ready to quit, you'll make a win. And you'll be like, oh man, there we go, now I got it. And then you'll start losing again, but you'll hold on even longer. And you'll lose even more money. You'll throw more money into the machine. Stop. You guys can do this, but you've got to be smart about it. Don't think that just because you can get in the market, you know what you're doing. You have no clue. It's good to be humble when you, especially in the markets, but with anything you do. If you are not a consistently profitable expert at whatever you're doing, be humble. But even if you are, be humble. The minute you start believing that you know everything there is to know about a thing is the minute that you start falling behind. I'm a firm believer in that, guys. You hear me talking all the time about how I'm consistently learning. I'm never satisfied. Always want to learn more, especially with trading. And I've been doing this for, quarter of a century now, 25 years. Almost 26. Jeez, that's crazy. I understand. I say all this, and I understand most of y'all aren't going to listen. Most of y'all are tuning me out already. Okay, boomer, silly stuff like that. My dad's a boomer, not me. But that's on you. That's on you. I can tell you what you need to know. It's on you to actually do something about it, guys. Period, end of sentence. All right? So, let me see here. Paul, what's going on? Good to see you. Merv checking in. I love it. Let me see here. XRP, wait, check in what the DXY is doing. Yeah, we're going to look at that in just a minute here, man. It really kind of took off this morning, really just propelling that USDCAD trade. I thought I was going to get stopped out on that. When I entered my latest USDCAD trade, I believed it was the bottom of the next move up, right? And so my stop loss was pretty low. It was like around 10 pips, I think, 10 pips profit. And we got pretty close to that, that drawdown overnight. But then, man, this morning just rallied like a scalded cat. I think I locked in about 115 pips profit from the entry yesterday. And so, and then it went up another like 20 pips above that. But, I'll show you why I was interested in getting out there when we take a look. Yeah, definitely helped on by that DXY rally this morning. Let me see here. TV Canal says, I think Bitcoin will push to 49.50, then drop to a new low to complete an ABC. It's possible. It's possible. I'm not sure that that's what's going to happen, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what kind of rally we can get off this current area here. Let me see here. Hey, what's going on, Common Man? Always good to see you checking in. Data says, no, I didn't get a chance to look at that clip yet, man. I will get it as soon as I can. Yeah, you guys, man, I'm so busy. It's crazy. I was up till 3 o'clock last night again working. That's been 3 times in the last week. I've been up till 3 a.m. working, trying to get all this stuff that I'm about to release for y'all going and out there. God, I'm excited. Andrew, what's going on, man? Christopher Arksky is here as well. He says, loving the USDCAD. Common Man thinks that DXY is going to run to 96 and get rejected, and then gold will run, maybe. Let me see here. Can I please give my views about Gala? Its perpetual is launching tomorrow at Binance. Remind me here in a bit, once I get through my normal stuff here. Usually we do requests like that in the last half of the show. So remind me then and I'll jump on that, all right? What's going on, Boris? Good to see you there. Merv wants to know, what do I think about the Pi Cycle top? Do you use it? I don't use it. I don't use it. I don't use a lot of that stuff, guys. There's a lot of... At the end of the day, guys, if you want to know honestly, at the end of the day, what I do, this is what I do at the end of the day, all right? And, and so, I have other things on here to help you understand what I'm looking at and why. So like, the RSI and the Stochh RSI down here, and then, of course, patterns and, use Elliott Wave and all that. But at the end of the day, guys, this is what I do right here. Price action volume. I don't spend a lot of time worrying about on-chain metrics. I don't spend a lot of time worrying about Pi Cycle and all this other stuff. I don't know. I've been doing this again for so long, guys. We see stuff like this happen all the time, and it comes in and out of fashion as people look for an easy way to gauge the market, right? But the reality of it is, the best thing you can do as a trader is learn how to trade. A naked trading. I mean, where I'm just talking about something like this here. If you can put in the time and effort to learn this price action volume, everything else becomes secondary. Everything else becomes secondary. And it doesn't mean you're going to always be right. You're still going to be wrong, guys. We're human beings. We make the wrong decision at times. That's why risk management is so important. I am not here to tell you that I get every trade right. I don't. But I get it right when it matters. And, and I don't let my overall opinion, my longer term opinion, cloud my local trading. If I have some big opinion about the market, that's fine and dandy. It's in there, but it doesn't mean I stop trading. Like if I say that, things are looking or are progressing more and more toward this idea that we may be hitting a top. Well, it doesn't mean I all of a sudden stop longing. No. But I am more aware of where I'm at. I know where my targets are. And okay, so I go long to this point. And if it breaks out here, then it's this other thing and we keep going. If it gets rejected there, then there's a first clue. Maybe I might be right. And we'll look to exit if it goes down below that, that other level there. So, I mean, that's what trading should be, guys. It shouldn't be like, I think the market's going to top out. And then you just stop trading. Because the market can continue up until you just go crazy. You might be on the right idea, but it might take longer to do it. And so you miss all this opportunity to trade. And I think a lot of young traders, a lot of amateur traders who come across me, they don't get that. They think if I say something, it has to happen right now. And if it doesn't, then I'm an idiot. Which is why I continue to post trades on there. I've had these people on here that are so silly. You know, they just go out there, they call anybody a LARPer, right? And they're like, oh, you're just a LARPer, you don't really trade and whatever. So I'm forced to post trades out there consistently just to shut them up. And it still doesn't work. But, you know, again, you guys come in, you're new, somebody says, oh, they're a LARPer, and you go, oh, man, they must be. I know y'all aren't going to use your brains a lot at first. It's just what it is. So I try and combat it the best way as possible, guys. But you know, life is what it is, right? Let me see here. A says the only problem with the ABC idea for Bitcoin right now is that everyone's expecting it. I don't know that everyone's expecting it. And I don't think that's the only thing wrong with it. You know, price action volume's looking pretty decent. So we'll see what the continuation is from here. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and talk about it. So what they're talking about here, guys, if you're not following, is that maybe... Oh, wait, this is the long one. Here we go. Let me kind of zoom out here a bit. So they're saying, okay, maybe 3 ended up here rather than back here, right? They're thinking, okay, ending diagonal here. And they're saying this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down as A. And then this is somehow a B here. I guess you would have to be A, B, and then somehow you're working on 5 here for C. I think it's a lot less likely than it was over here. Because if you look at what's going on here, we just pulled back to the range resistance right here, found it as support. And we're trying to, you know, we rallied off that. Now we're trying to make ourselves that local range there. You kind of zoom in here a bit. Let's see, there we go. And so then we got pretty much a somewhat similar range thing happening right here. Big move up, it comes down. Guess what? This is almost the same thing that we saw already down there, just with this being the low here instead of the low being right there. Almost the same exact kind of structure going on though. But anyway, the idea is that, okay, so it pops on up here, and then that's it, right? Now you said 49.50. Oh, maybe you meant an ABC right here. So what they're thinking then is that this would be C up here, and then this is a 1, and this is an A, B, C is a 2, and then it'll go down for 3. That's what they're talking about. You know, again, for me personally, guys, when I'm looking at this is your range right here. And what we have is we've got this nice move out of that range. We've got this pullback here to the range resistance right here. Trying to find it as support. Building a lot of sideways, so building a base right here on top of the resistance. And so I've got a count here that says, okay, maybe this is A down, and then this is A, B, and C up here, right? So whether you think that this is C of B up here with a target of about 49,434 up here, or if you think it's potentially 1, 2, and working its way up, and then this would be wave 1 of 3. Either way, that target is that same general area, that 49,343. All we need to see is a breakout above this swing high right here at 48,176.64. If we get a breakout above that, that adds confidence to the idea we're heading up here to around 49,434. And at that point, we find out, okay, is it maybe a 1, 2, and then 1 of 3? So we just get a pullback and then continuation up. Or is this like this red count here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, finishing C of B, and then we pull down to, 38, 39,000. I think, excuse me, I think overall, we still haven't made a new all-time high yet, but I think, to me, it seems like we're done. It seems like we've got a flat correction here, so ABC down, ABC up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, we've kind of made it back up into this. This was that distribution range here. We've made it up into there. We're trying to break back up into it again. Got to get through this high volume node here at the EQ of the range at around 56,100 or so. If we can get above that, I think that just opens up that run up. But, everybody was scared to long down here. And we talked about, it could possibly go down. But until we actually see it go down, we should be looking up as this being a flat here. And that's what we got. Lots of opportunity. I've talked to you guys about longing along this way up here. And so, we've done a lot of what we've expected, what we've needed to do. But, you know, anything can still happen until we break out above that all-time high there. If we do break down and drop down below this 28.8 here, well, then we go, okay, this is 3, and this is A, this is B, and then we have C going down to 23, 24,000, maybe lower. So, I mean, that's kind of where we're at, guys. In either case, you were able to long off here and head up. You know, I gave you the first target as getting above this range high here. Second target I gave you was this the lower half of this range up here. So, I mean, we've done what we've needed to do. Now we just need to see, do we get some continuation here where we're at here and pull up there. On the positive side, you know, this is the, you know, 4-hour pivot area. And so we're just kind of finding support on that. So, you know, if you're trading pivots, guys, just trading pivots. Came in sideways between the pivot and the S1, broke out above the pivot, came back, retested his support. Looks like we might be building the base. If I'm just trading pivots, if I get a breakout above this swing high here at about 48,499, I'm long like a mother, man. You know, with a stop loss right below this swing low right here at $47,020. All right? I expect generally, because generally when you're trading pivots and you move in sideways and you get a move like this, if you're breaking out above that swing high, generally, which means most of the time, more than half, most of the time actually, price is going to at least rally to the R1 pivot, at least. And if you get that breakout through there and above this swing high right here, you should be good to go. You should be good to go to head up toward that R2 pivot. So, I mean, even waves out of the way, everything else out of the way, that's where you should be if that happens. But, you know, again, we put everything else in here and go, okay, well, what's going on now? So right now, again, looking at this potentially as a 1-2 locally here, breakout above 48,176.64 cents. Should give us a minimum wave 3 target at 48,998. And that should lead to a minimum wave 5 target of 49,434. We've got a pattern target here based on the height of the channel, which is $1,283 above the point of breakout. So when it breaks out, that would be your pattern target, and that's based on the height of the channel there. So you've got that to look at as well. Lots of possible targets here, depending on how far you're looking to go. If this is a 1-2 per the black count right here, and then 1-2, this gives us a wave parentheses 3 here of wave circle 3, minimum expected target of 55,358 and 62 cents. So that's what I'm watching, guys, as we do this. Looking pretty good at the moment, so we'll see what happens. We got, you see how volume's kind of dropped off, and then you hit the bottom here, right before the bottom, and then that first bullish engulfing candle right there. Look at how your volume spiked. That's demand showing up at the bottom all of a sudden. The demand just dropped off as it went down. There was nobody really buying until it hit that level. That is this, right here, it's 2-hour demand structure right here. Right there. So that EQ of that demand structure is right there at the pivot. You know, we're getting that rally right off that. So that's bullish generally. If you have a lack of volume coming down, no real interest, and then at the bottom, boom, you've got this ton of volume coming in, that usually tells you, hey, you've got demand showing up. Demand wants to buy. Same thing on the top side. If you have a lack of volume, it's going up, and then you get to the top, and all of a sudden there's a large spike of volume, that tells you there's a bunch of sellers wanting to sell there. So you shouldn't be trying to fight that. So that's what we're kind of looking at right now as we play this out here. Let me see here. Common Man says, with regard to Bitcoin, I'm still worried that we're inside of a big ABC pattern. A equals 60,000 to 30,000. B is 30,000 back to 50, and then C is 50 down to 25 or something. From 30,000, why would you think from 30,000? Let me see here. 30,000. So that gets you down here. So you're looking at maybe A, B, C. Yeah, like I said, you know, we can't necessarily rule it out at the moment. But I think price has done a lot of good stuff along the way to make it less likely. It doesn't mean it can't happen. And if we were to drop below this, this wave A swing low here at 42,830, that would pique my interest. But, really, I don't know. I think really the way I'm looking at this in general is we would have to get an impulsive breakdown below this range EQ here, right around 36,000, for me to really seriously consider that maybe A, B, C is done here. I think right now the way it stands, there's still too much strength, too much possibility it may go up higher to really put that as a big concern at the moment. But you trade the smaller trades along the way here. You build your position if it continues going higher, and that's how you work through all that that insecurity or that unsurety of what's maybe going on there. Yeah. So that's where I'd be looking with that. Let's see here. This is potentially interesting. Right there. So yeah, we come on down here and get down to this area. Yeah, if we're breaking down through that, maybe I'm feeling more interested in some downside on that. But as long as we're above that and it's not making 5 waves down to this area, I think we're probably good to go still to the upside. But like I said, either way, you just play that more local trade. Build your position if you're worried about it, but you want to be long just in case. Just build that long position from that bottom, from that 28.8. Build that position up as you get through those key levels that I've been talking about. Yeah, and that way you don't have to go all in at the bottom. And in case you're wrong, you maybe lock in a little bit of profit or you lose just a little bit. You don't have to be all in, fully leveraged out to be successful, guys. Okay? Let's see here. Kerouac, what's up, man? It is a glorious Friday, isn't it? So glorious, the Y ran away, didn't it? XRP Bandit says, normally when the DXY pumps, crypto dumps. Yeah, if it's a sudden pump, that really moves, or a sudden drop that really moves, other assets, not just crypto, but, stocks and everything will move opposite to it. But in general, that DXY correlation is more of a longer term thing. So you want to look at like the minimum of the daily. Usually the weekly chart is where you want to see. And do you get that same kind of correlation with that weekly or not? For your biggest one there. Spiral Architect, what's up, man? Yariko says, can we pull back to the weekly pivot next week? Let's see what that weekly pivot is. I like when y'all talk long term. That's sexy. You pull down here? Oh, man, I don't think so. So let me explain, guys. Again, if I'm just looking at pivots and prices moved inward, sideways between the pivot and the R1, and it goes above it, pulls back, and then continues up, it doesn't even come down to the pivot. Most often, this right here is bullish, like seriously bullish. And we should expect to see price continuing up to the R5 and through it. What we've had here is this pullback to this range low there, or to this swing low, where we found more support, and we've rallied back off that. And now we've come over here and finding support again right here, which is the same pullback area right here, which is right above the resistance right here. You see this? Look at this dashed line here. Resistance over here from January to right over here in May, and right over here again in June. And just a bit above that, you have support right here in February, right here in May, and right here right now. So my thought is, just looking at this right here, guys, price action wise, if we're breaking out above this swing high, R5 and above. And, again, guys, it's nothing that people generally teach you. It's just something, this movement right here through the pivots, it's just something that if you trade pivots for years, it's something that you begin to hopefully notice. Is that this kind of thing happens. Because generally what happens when you come in that sideways is it'll come up the R1, then come down the pivot, recheck it, and then break out. Or it'll come in sideways, and then it'll drop to the pivot, check it, and then break out. And those two things are the bullish ways that it usually happens. If it just breaks down and falls through the pivot, then generally we'll look for the S1 and potentially the S2. Drops to that S2, it's going to the S5. In this case, it just continued on up all the way to the R3 pivot, not pulling back anywhere near the pivot. And so this is a hyper bullish situation here. So usually we look for the pullback and the continuation up. So again, locally here, if we get that breakout above 52,944, 96 cents, I think we're probably headed at least up here to, 97, 98,000 of the R5 pivot. Now that doesn't mean, I don't know. I mean, I've seen people talk about possible triangles here. Let me see. So maybe A, B, C, D, E, but then this has to be 3 down. And this looks like a pretty clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So, I don't know. Maybe there could be a miscount somewhere in there, but it looks like a pretty clear 5 down, which makes me not really give a lot of thought that it's going to be a triangle. But I think the important thing to notice is we had this resistance right here that we hit multiple times this year. And then right above it, we have the support that we hit multiple times this year, including right now. So if that resistance support area holds, we break out above that swing high, I mean, you're going to want to look for this range up here, around the R3 pivot there at 63,350. But I think you really just kind of strap it on in for, for hitting higher up at that point. Right? So that's how I look at it, guys. That's, knowing what I know, after what I've done for so many years, that seems like your levels there, the things that you're watching and how you're watching it and why. So yeah. Oh, you meant the R2? Eureka? Can we pull back to the weekly pivot? Can we pull back to the weekly R2? We're at that R2 pivot. Oh, you mean just from where we're at here, down here? Just a few $100s? I mean, that would be nothing if it did. I mean, that's pretty local, right? We're at 47,000. You're only looking for a few $100s to pull back to this R2 pivot right here. Unless you really meant the R1 pivot. In which case, if we were to lose this swing low, I would be interested in this area right above the R1 pivot. This 37.5 to 39 or so. So again, that gives us that 38, 39 target that I said that we'd be looking at if we did drop down through it. Yeah. That's what I'd be looking at. Just everything else out of the way, just looking at these pivots and that price action there. That's kind of what I'd be seeing. Let me see here. But yeah, like I said, if we're breaking out above this swing high up here, don't look for it to get back there. We're headed up again. The idea that we've got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gives us a 1, 2. We're up. We're headed up and out. We should be anyway. How do I get those levels? So guys, all you have to do is go up here to your little FX symbol. It says indicators and strategies. Click on there. Type PIV, or pivot or whatever you want to do it there. And then, let me see here. Yeah. And so then they've, they've got this different now. They've got this pivot points standard and pivot points high-low now, updated thing. Crazy. It used to just be pivots. If you go to your favorites, I go to my favorites here, and I've clicked things throughout the time, just trying to figure out what's going on there. Let me see. Is it here? I don't even think I put it in there. It was so easy always to get it. Let me see here. Pivots. So yeah, I guess they do this now. I guess they do this pivots points standard now. So that's what you would click on. That's kind of crazy that they changed that up. I missed that change. But yeah, and then it'll come up here, and then it'll draw the pivots on there for you automatically if it does that. Can it also be 5 waves down of the first wave and 30 to 52 is wave 2? Sure. That's what I was talking about. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible this could be an ending diagonal here. So this is 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is 5, right? And so then 3 ends up here, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down as A, B, this would be C as B, and then you'd have C coming down here to, 22, 23,000, 24,000 around this area. And it could go lower, but I think that'd probably be where it'd go if it did. Yeah, that's still possible. But I think if we're breaking out above this swing high right here, this 52,945 area, I think that makes it really, really unlikely. I mean, right now I already think it's pretty unlikely, but if we break out above that, I think there's there's little to hope that it'll go down like that. I think we then look at it like we were looking here, 3, or I'm sorry, 3 right here. So you go 3, 4, 5. So that's 3, and then ABC down, ABC up. So A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is C, and you've got this flat correction here. And then this just ends up being a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, working its way up. So yeah, it's possible, but it's so far up right now, and there's too much other possibility for that bullish scenario to work out to really get in there and say, yeah, it's really strongly probably that. We would need to see some movement down to really get it. I think if price is dropping impulsively below this weekly R1 pivot here, I think it's the same level I said earlier, 37,550 or so. If we're impulsively dropping down, which means large candle spread, expanding volume through that, I think that would be the first real clue that maybe this is A, B, and then we've got C coming down a little bit. But until that happens, again, as long as we're above that and whatnot, I think, the play is to the upside. With your stop losses, of course, below the swing low there. Yeah. Let's see here. Chemozombie says it would also be possible to call it a WXYXZ wave 4 off the 64 high to 30K. So here's my thoughts on complex corrections, guys. I think if you're getting to the point where you're saying WXYXZ, I think that, obviously it's something that can happen. But when we get to that point, I tend to use that as a very last possibility because it's much more rare. Usually when people are doing that, it's because the price action is going sideways and they're trying to make the price action fit their bias, whether that's up or down on that. Because we're human beings, guys, right? And even if we've been doing this for years and years and years, we still have biases. Part of what I do here with y'all has been, it helps me to recognize my bias and hopefully stamp it out a bit. I look for real, it reminds me to look for real confirmation and invalidation levels with that. But yeah, when it comes to WXYXZ, that's a really complex correction. And a lot of times when somebody gets that kind of count, it's because of, like I said, they're trying to validate their idea of what should happen rather than looking, really kind of looking possibly at the other side of it. So yeah, you can look at that. I guess, if you're going to do that, W, X, Y, X, Z, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that. But if this is going to be a W, X, Y, then this just becomes a W, right? It's 3 waves down, W, and then X, and then Y. I can buy that. I can do that. I don't like the fact that if this was a W, X, Y, X, that you have this big X above this other X. But again, looking at this down here as W, X, Y, X, Z to give you a W and then an X and then a Y, maybe. Though I think even with that, I think it would still, for me, would be a W, X, and then Y here, and that would be an A, B, C. So W, X, W, X, Y gives you a W. 3 up gives you an X. And you'd have to have 3 down to give you a Y. That's how I would look at it, honestly. Remember, the most often your WXY, especially if it's a WXYXZ, it should really go sideways. It shouldn't be like this trending thing. You can get a trending with the WXY, a bit of a trending. But most often, if it's trending is a zigzag, it's going to be an ABC. WXY tends to be a bit more sideways. WXYXZ tends to be a lot more sideways. It's a range. So, yeah, they're just some tips with Elliott Wave when you're looking at it. Yeah. Let me see here. Joy, what's going on? It says for Wyckoff, May through July range. May through July. So this range right here. There's that spring around June 22nd right here. But later in the range, it dips back down again. Is that a terminal shakeout? Where does phase B at? No, 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 no. If I'm looking at this, my interpretation of it, I've shown you guys this before. Here we go. This is kind of the way I see it. And then this or this right here is the backup. If this drops back down, it makes this likely. This would be the back up the edge of the creek. But it looks like we've got the jump across the creek right here with this large volume, large candle spread coming out through there. Big move up. So remember, your creek is just your resistance. It's just, this is such a quick pullback. I really don't look at that as a back up the edge of the creek. So look at it potentially here. Or like I said, if this drops down as an A, B, C here, then we'd have the back of the edge of the creek over here. But locally here, this whole thing I believe is potentially a what we call reaccumulation after decline. It's a large time frame reaccumulation structure here. So it starts out with your distribution, which is usually short-lived. Then it drops down to your reaccumulation range, and then it breaks on out. And so within this, you have your local selling climax, your automatic rally, your secondary test, spring test, another test of that spring. You have these two tests of the spring here. Sometimes you'll have more than one test of your spring. And that's what I would look at as. And then again, this move up here becomes your show of strength. This big move up. You got volume there as it breaks out across there. Pulls back, last point of support. Show of strength here, pulls out to potentially back up the edge of the creek here or here. Heading up. That's how I would look at it there. Let me see. So yeah. But that's kind of what I'm thinking when it comes to Wyckoff right there. This is kind of my working chart here with that as far as that goes there. So yeah, it's again, things make sense here. You're kind of coming up right here into the lower half of this previous distribution area. So you've got all this distribution right in here. And so you come up there, they're going to send you back down, sure. But then you have your reaccumulation right here, which catches you and tries to, rally you back up. And so if we rally back up above this, we should break out above all this here and head up with that. The other way to potentially look at this here, again, they talk about the leading or the ending diagonal here. The other way you can look at it here is possibly as a head and shoulders. And those of you that follow me, I hate these things. But, occasionally, they might actually be what they is, right? And so you look for a breakdown through here, through your neckline here. There's your mark down, which happens right with it. This would give you your target. I posted all this when this first was all happening, but just if you weren't here at that time. So you get your breakdown right there. And, it actually hits right here at the EQ of this demand structure, right? And look right here. That's where it hits. So, we actually hit the pattern target of this, what I think is probably a head and shoulders up there. We had the breakdown through it, large candle spread, large volume, that's marked down. And then right here with the spring, we actually hit the EQ of our demand range over here, a demand structure. And then, of course, rallied back up and off that. So if you didn't see me talk about that before, or you're new here and, this is some, I kind of look at that more so than this being in an ending diagonal. But remember, when we were up here, we were already talking about this possibility as ending diagonal as well. A lot of, that and the idea that we were looking at this flat correction. Or if it was going to be a flat, then potentially a triangle. You should always look at that. If you think you have a flat, there's always the possibility you could have a triangle. In this case, it can't be a triangle from here because, it would be A, B, and C can't drop below A. But if this is a, an ending diagonal here, and if you can get 3 here, then A, B, C, D, E, triangle, head up. If we're breaking out above this, then the triangle's out, right? So just some thoughts on that. GT, you're welcome. Sure thing, sure thing. Let me see here. Okay, guys, let me jump ahead here real quick. DXY. Man, look at that baby go. Good stuff right there, right? So we had the pullback here. Boom, the breakout this morning. Strong bit of breakout. We had this supply structure right here. We hit our pattern target, which was at the just about the EQ of that, as you can see here. And we broke out above it. We're pulling back to it, and we're trying to break out some more. I've got a minimum wave 3 target up here at around the R3 pivot, which is right now. Next week it'll change. But it's, the pivots will. But it's still that 93.809 kind of area for a minimum wave 3 target. Might end up getting larger than that. We'll find out. But yeah, kind of looking at that as we go there with it. Let's see. So yeah, I mean, if this continues going up, it doesn't mean anything has to immediately go down, but you want to watch the trend, or does it trend up? Because if it's trending up, then overall your other risk on assets should at some point start trending down as people become more and more concerned about it. Okay? So that's how you get that that kind of play in there. Let me see here. Let's look here at the USDCAD. So this was this huge move. So I was long yesterday from down in this area somewhere. Yeah, it's all posted there on Twitter. We had this move up. I did not expect it to come back this far, but I did expect that this was probably the bottom. So I left me like a 10 pips stop. So I'd get, at least 10 pips, a few $100 on that. It rallied before it hit that. And then you had this huge move up here this morning. And like I said, I was out probably about 20 pips before that top there. It topped out there, 62? I was out at just about 40. So yeah, about 20 pips off that top. I was looking for it right here. I was looking, see this is this, I'm going to get out here a little bit. This 1 hour supply structure right here. I was looking for rejection around the EQ probably. So better safe than sorry. Had 115 pips. I locked it in. About 15 or almost 1,540 pips or dollars of profit on that trade. So now we're looking here, and if we're looking at this on the 1 hour, it looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4 to get that pullback here. So right here between the 23.6 and 38.2 retracement on the 1 hour, we've got about, we just started. Okay, so we've got this nice large bullish candle here at the bottom, potentially a reversal. Let's zoom in a bit here. Let's see. So really just kind of getting rejected around the R2 pivot on the 15-minute. We've almost reset down and oversold. So we might see this push and then kind of pull back a bit to pull this 15-minute down into oversold. Let me zoom in a little bit more here. Let me see here. We've got probably maybe a 1 or an A, and then a B as a flat. And then maybe a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Let me kind of zoom in a bit more. Let's see if we can see some more structure here. Yeah, I'm going to go all the way to the 1 minute. This is crazy. I hate doing this. But right here in the 1 minute, you can see we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This only looks like an ABC here, though. So maybe a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is A. Here's B. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That might be 5 and done. Coming off here. It might be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3. Might have a pull back on a 4 and a 5. So what I would look for is a breakout. I myself am interested in going long on this. On on a breakout above this swing high right here, 1.27489 on FXCM.com. Because I think this is an A, this is a B, and this might be a C. And if I'm right, that's 3 down. If you break out above that one, that that locks it in as a 3-wave correction. And from that, quick target here, I would expect this to be wave 4. So 127,856. So that would possibly be, if you get it on on the breakout through that swing high there, potentially 36 more pips of profit in it. So yeah, I think that probably looks pretty good right there. So if you're running about $20 a pip profit on something like that, which means you probably got to have about I don't know, probably about 240,000, which means probably about $4,800, I think. So running about $5,000 maybe. That would get you, again, potentially 36 pips at about 20. So that could get you another $600 to $800 profit on that. So I'm going to be interested in trying that, and maybe it'll even pop up larger here. But bigger picture, I mean, this is kind of what we're watching here. So I think we've got 1 up, and then this was 2 down here at the bottom. So A, B, C is 2 here. And then 1, 2. And then 1, A, B, C, 2 as a flat. And then, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 getting up there. So that's how I think we may be playing there. The other thing I was kind of looking at was maybe this was like an A, and this was a B, and a C, and a D, and then an E, or an A, B, C, D, E. So a triangle is E. And this just gets you like a big wave 4. You see I've got wave 4 here. And somebody just gives us a real large wave 4 triangle. So I'm still kind of looking at that as a possibility. And if that happens, you would expect to have a target, a pattern target up there about 1.31729 kind of area around the R4, the current R4, 4-hour R4 pivot, which, by the time it gets up there, it'll be, probably a couple of weeks if it was to do that. So these pivots won't be valid. This pivots will go away this week anyway. But anyway, just kind of watching it there until we break out above wave 1, though. There's still the possibility that maybe this is a more bearish count here. I don't know. Again, this looks like a pretty clear A, B, C for me here. And with this breaking out, you couldn't even say this was a 1 and then an A, B, C as a flat and then coming down. Unless you were to say 1, 2, 3, 4 is a triangle and 5. So A, B, C, D, E. And you could do that. So you get a 1 here and then an A, B, and this is all C of a flat. 1, 2, 3, 4 is a triangle and 5. Something like that based on this. You could look for that target there. Right about the top of the range here, right around 1.28 or so, based on the height of the triangle. So as I'm playing this out, that would be something else I'd keep in mind, guys. Okay? But yeah, I mean, right now I think either way we're headed up. I've been saying up. Again, this was right here overnight was a further pullback than I expected, but I didn't freak out. Of course, I had my plan in play. I had it set. Went to bed, and if it went out, you know what? I still got 10 pips profit. Not worried about that. I would have lost 50. I would have lost 50. No, I made profit. It would be fine. And I made profit while it invalidated my idea. So it's always about the way in which you approach your trade, guys. Okay, you gotta. There's so much about trading that's just psychological. All right? It really is. Now, if we're looking here, again, my count here says 1, 2, maybe a 1, 2 here, or maybe a flat as a 1, 2. This right here, I couldn't find any way saying this is anything other than 3 up. So if this count is correct, 1, 2, 1, 2 kind of thing here, this would have to be a leading. It would have to be a leading diagonal. And so that, presents its own kind of issues depending on how we do it as it's working there. But that's why I'm just looking at those targets right now, those more general targets from where we're at. And then, of course, if you're in Discord with us and you have access to these updates, I'll be updating my thoughts if something more significant comes out that gives me a better idea. Okay? But right now, definitely looking to see if we can get some rally going here above that swing high. What was that? 5 minutes I have it there? Yeah, kind of looking at a move above that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ABC. Yeah, right here above 1.27489. All right. So there you go. So I never gave you nothing. I expect all of y'all to come to my defense when somebody calls me a LARPer or says I don't give anything for free, or they throw a big fit because I'm not letting them have everything for free. Guys, life is not about getting things for free. Life is about finding out what interests you, what you're serious about, and then doing what it takes to make sure that you can do that. Everything else is just whining and the world's against you and you have no control over your life. And defeatist attitude, guys. Defeatist attitude, okay? Let's not do that. XRP, you're very welcome. Some Risk, what's up? Silvio, good to see you checking in as well. Let me see here. What else do we have? Somebody wanted to know. Let me see here. I know there was one they asked earlier. I can't remember what it was. They'll have to tell me what it was. I think I just saw one here as well. For what? I thought I saw one right there. Do I ever switch to dark mode when I'm looking at charts at night? Andrew, man, I don't know, man. Sometimes with some things I have it on. I'm really a stickler for the white charts and the black and white candles. I do have a dark setting that I use though. So, sometimes I'll run with this when I'm getting a little on it here. And then of course it's white and it's not red. It's a light gray kind of thing here. And so, let me see here. Looks something more like this. And I'll do that sometimes, depending. But really, I'm just such a stickler for the black and white there on the white screens. It's clean. Everything's easy to see. You don't have to worry about all the other stuff. So yeah. It was about Gala. Okay, thank you. Let me see here. See what you're looking at here. Oh, is it the dollar pair or the Bitcoin pair? I'm sorry. You have to let me know if it's the dollar pair or the Bitcoin pair that you're looking at on that. And I'll tell you what I think. Let's see here. It's over here. What's today? By the way, guys, if there's one helpful hint I can give you guys about charting, when you save different charts, put your date on it so you always know, where they are, so you can kind of keep track of your movement there. Everything I post, guys, I've ever posted continues to remain there in Discord. So even if you were just to join today, you would see everything I've posted for the last few years that we've had Discord. I don't remove anything. There's no reason to. Sometimes I'm wrong. But I always tell you where those invalidation levels are, and it's up to you to use proper risk management. I can't guarantee you that a trade's going to do a certain thing. I can say maybe it looks like it, or maybe it might look like it, but it might go further. And so I give you all this information So, when I do that, I don't ever have to feel the need that I have to remove charts or anything. A lot of times new traders come in and they think, oh, you have to get it right 100% of the time. Guys, again, I've got friends. Oh my gosh, it's stuck with the thing. I've got friends who trade, and I've told you guys this before. Their win rate is something like 30%, and they're living the life that you guys joke about on Twitter and other social media, guys. All that stuff where you talk about Lambos and this and that and whatnot. This is the kind of lifestyle they're leading. Vacationing where they want, when they want, 5-star hotels, all that kind of stuff. So it's not about, the more you have, the better you can be, right? The more correct trades you have, the better off you can be. But you can still be extremely successful with a losing win rate, like I said, below 50%, just by utilizing strong risk management. Because what that risk management does is it protects you from being wrong. And when you're right, it allows you to really just stack in, the profits when you're right. Okay? Some risk. Too funny, man. Let's see here. I also got a .USDT TV canal. Make sure I do that for you. Let me see here. So we're going to look here at Gala USD or USDT. We'll look at here. Let's get off that 5-minute, get back to the daily. Oh, why do you guys ask about things that rocket? You should already be in it. You shouldn't be interested in trying to get in now. Let me see here. Well, this looks like an A and a B and a 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So maybe getting a 3, 4. We still have a 5 probably going there, I think. I think we're going to start the count over here. Excuse me. I think that gives us 5 up, and we're pulling back in a 2 right now. See, where are we at? All right. Yeah, we're getting toward the 50% here. I would generally look for it to find this support here, this demand structure over here. Whoops. And so that'll get you right there around the 61.8, the 65 kind of area. Let me see here. If this is an A and that's a B, then it equals C right here at 76. So that would be the first place I'd look. 76 or 0.076, I'm sorry. Because again, generally if we're doing an ABC, we look and say, okay, well, C is going to be equal to A at what point? And so that's the 100% right there. But again, if I'm looking at this, it looks like it's just a 1, 2. And then we're doing 1, 2, maybe we got 3, 4, 5. So still got a 3, 4, and a 5 still to go. So initial target, 0.076. Secondary target down here in this range. Most likely between the 61.8 and the 70.5. So if I was to stick it there, that would probably be... See if I can get this here. Yeah. Between 0.06166 to 0.06864. First target there, second target there. Because the B is way up here, I mean, that's your... You got to break out above that point to add confidence to your count here. So that's this 0.12455. But if you do, depending on where this goes, if it bounces, if it rallies there, which is, this all-time high, but there's really nothing there. So I'm kind of iffy about that as a target. But that would give you your wave 3 up here at 0.247. If it gets down here toward that, kind of halfway between, somewhere in there between 61.8 and 70.5, then you're looking at 0.2353 kind of area with it. Let me see here. Yeah, I mean, if I look at this, I go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it gives us a 1, 2. me see here. What are the lows? 42.99. 43.11. Yeah. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gives us a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gives us a 1, and then A, B, C toward one of those two targets for the move up. If you want to jump in before that, oh, how can we help you intelligently here? We can look for a breakout above this descending resistance. Unless you're getting something else magical on the, some kind of bullish divergence or something with Stochastic RSI bottomed out and oversold, something like that. I think those are your safest bets as far as your entries go for your longer move up there. Yeah. So that's where I think we're probably headed with that. Let me see here. What was the other one? .USDT. I think I've actually got that chart. Let me see here. I'll answer your question just a minute here, Mr. Williams. I've got you. Let me see here. I'm looking at a 1, 2, 1, 2. Looking for it to break out here. So I think we may have like a leading diagonal here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this would be like wave 1 of parentheses 3 here, kind of thing. So this would be A, this would be B, this might be C and done here. Yeah, we're pretty close to the EQ there. A breakout above this swing high right here, since this will be wave B, at about $36.94. A breakout above that should add confidence to your account. If the bottom's in here, that gives us this local wave 3 target of about $44.49. That's wave 3 of wave parentheses 3 of wave circle 3, or circle 1 of wave Roman numeral 3. So it's the beginning stages of that wave, that Roman numeral 3. Now, it could be, we might be one off. This might need to be wave circle 1, and this is wave parentheses 1 here. But either way, that wave Roman numeral 3 here target. Let me see. Yeah, his dog has a big one there. Oh, yeah, no, that's going to be fine. Yeah, no, we're not even worried about that at the moment. Pay attention locally. The wave parentheses 3 minimum target's up here at 56.31. If you want to keep that in there as well. Some things to think about there, right? Let me see here. So, FinMat, right? Oh, wait, there was a question first here. When comparing symbols, overlaying Bitcoin on the DXY chart, for instance, what pin to scale option should be selected? That depends on what you want to do. If you want to keep them lined up by day, where they need to be, and be able to move the charts around with whatever settings you're doing on there, say resistance or support kind of areas along the way, then you have to put them, when you go to the overlay here, you have to do, here's one right here. You get the same percentage scale, the new price scale, the new pane. This is the new pane. If you do it with the new price scale, it will put this on this one, but if you move this chart around, it's going to move these drawing tools with it. They won't stick with this particular chart. So if you want your drawing tools to stick with it, you have to do the other pane. Otherwise, you could just get it right here and go, okay, well, we'll say Ethereum USDT here. We'll say new price scale. And so we can pull this out here. And so at this point, as you can see, you have your Bitcoin one there, and then on this side over here, you have your Ethereum. And so, you know, generally you're gonna line up your lows right there, and then you kind of see how everything works out from there, as far as what you think may be happening, going on with all that. But you also have to make sure that your scaling down at the bottom is the same. So my main chart here, my Bitcoin chart, is log scale. That means I have to right-click on the price scale over here for the other one that I overlaid and put that on log 2. And then I got to do all, whoops. And then I got to do all this fun stuff to kind of get it to stretch back up there again. Because otherwise you're comparing logarithmic to arithmetic scales, and you're not going to get anything useful out of that. So I would do like this right here. But see how this moves out. So let's say I wanted to look at this. This overlaid chart, right? And I'm interested in this breakout right here, right? Well, in that case, if I've got this on here, it's up here, right? But if I move this other chart, you see how it all moves with it? It doesn't stick with it. That's why you have to do it down here if you want to do that. And then those are probably the two easiest ways to compare, guys. The two ways that you would use most often. And that's the difference that you would look at in doing it. So, yeah. Let me see here. Let me see here. Yeah, TV Canal, you know, it all depends on your time frame that you're trading. If you're a shorter time frame trader, there's no reason to wait for that breakout through the top. Otherwise, you're leaving a lot of money potentially on the table. Okay? But if you're a longer, you know, if your trading time frame is longer, yeah, it might make more sense to wait for that larger time frame confirmation. Sure. Michael, you're very welcome, man. Let me see here. And then, oh, we were talking about FN Matt, right? Let me see here. Oh, what did I just do with it? I think I just lost it. Well, all right. Kind of pull it up here. Let's see this one. All right, big picture. This is the weekly here. Looking at a possible leading diagonal. Range-wise here, we've got buying climax. This is reaccumulation, it looks like. So buying climax, local selling climax, secondary test. As you thrust up, probably do it like this, because you had your little bit of distribution right here. So again, this is that distribution, or this is that reaccumulation after distribution. Very small local distribution range. Large reaccumulation range here. We got the breakdown here into this terminal shakeout. That's why it didn't pop right back in. Looks like we're finding some support there. I've got 5 waves down and 5 waves down here. I've got a flat ABC, ABC. So now we look at what's going on locally here. So we'll zoom into the daily. And if you look at the daily right now, you should be going, okay, 1, 2, 3, right? And so we got it up here, and I'll change that to white here in a minute. There we go. So this gives us a 1, 2, potentially a 3. If we're looking deeper, though, we have a 1, 2, 1, 2 here. So let's zoom in a little bit more. Let's see if we can clear any of this up. 3, let's see here. So this might be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. So I think it's a 3. This is a 4 here. The pullback. Let's get rid of that. Wave 4 pullback. It's just at the 38.2 right now. You know, and there's a lot of movement here, so a lot of potential pullback. Now, the 50% finds itself right above this resistance level, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that. But it isn't until you fill in this gap down here that you get around that high volume node. But we'll see if this high volume node holds first, so we'll kind of zoom in even more here. Right here, there's 3 down. Let me kind of keep zooming in here. Let's see. Yeah, so if I'm looking at this, what do we got in swing highs here? 220, 220. So A, B, potentially C here. And then 1, A, B, C is 2 as a flat. 3. So if I was playing this, the safest way to play this would be watching for locally here for a breakout above this $2.20 swing high here. That's my first. And then I want to see a breakout above 235 here. If we can get that, it means we're probably heading up for 5 then. And if this is 4 here, that gives us, it makes a lot of sense. Gives us a wave 5 target up here at around $2.84. So I think I gave you, I think these are parts of those targets I gave you all, if I'm not mistaken. This was a setup requested by our members, as you can see. And what I told them here was your local targets here would be the $2.80 level, so we're pretty close to that. $4.65, $9.30. And that's predicated on that count I just gave you. So this gets you a 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and then 5 kind of as it goes up there, continues up. So if you wanted to play locally, again, if we can get those breakouts that we're looking for, 280, 465, 930, those kind of areas are where I'm looking at. Larger picture, though, says that, let me put this back where it was, says that we've got a possible breakout here. I don't know. Based on the height of this range, you got about $11.46 target above it, so probably right around $24, $25, which is pretty close to the $23, almost $23 target, minimum target here of Wave Circle 5 to complete this potential ascending, leading diagonal, ascending wedge. I can't think what it's called there. And of course, if we're dropping back below the swing low down here, it's all null and void. Heck, I'd say a little bit higher up at the $1.43 level, $1.42 level. If we're dropping below this swing low before the very swing low, I'd say we're done. That it's going lower, the count's not valid anymore. Again, weekly's reset real well down here, so we just got some local back and forth to get above it. As you can see, this initial target of 280 kind of puts you right here at this resistance, this weekly resistance, and then support kind of level area. So we should get through that and break out, and then come back to it, then break out, and then come back to it, and then breakout kind of idea. All right. I don't personally care for Bitcoin dominance, TV Canal. Again, that's more of that trying to find some kind of holy grail that's going to tell you what's going on. Most people don't read it properly anyway, so I don't know that's really all that helpful for most people. But I do chart it for tier 3 members. Let me see here. Is it tier 3 and tier 2, or is it just tier 3? Just looking over here at Discord real quick. Just tier 3. Tier 3, I do the crypto indexes, the alt perp, DeFi perp, exchange perp, mid perp, and shit perp indexes there. I do them along with the Bitcoin dominance every week. So there's that. But I don't really look at it myself, though. I don't ever use it myself to trade. I get pretty much everything I really kind of need. But just looking at those charts that I'm looking at. If that makes any sense. Hopefully it does. Let me see here. The NASDAQ. Let's jump over there real quick, see what we're doing there. Still looking rather sickly. We've dropped below. We've got 3 waves up off that bottom. We've dropped below it, so we should continue lower. Minimum, I've got a minimum wave 5 target here, 14,868.40. You know, if price breaks out above this swing high up here at 15,205.50, then that'll invalidate it. But right now, off that swing low, it's just 3 waves up, and we've come back down below the second wave. So unless this was some sort of leading diagonal, where this is 1 and then this is A, B, and C, you know, it should generally continue to head lower. So we'll look for a breakdown below this 14,984.68 level there to really kind of confirm that we're headed down there toward that other target. Boris, I appreciate you, man. Says tier 3 is the best. Cannot describe how much it helped me in just a short period of time. Yeah, and I'm glad that you always show up for the weekly sessions there, man. You know, again, Wyckoff on Mondays, Elliott Wave on Thursdays, and then our tips, tricks, and techniques there on Wednesdays. And, you know, guys, if you can't make it during the times those happen, don't forget they're always archived. So you have access to the 100 hours or whatever almost that we've done. I guess we've probably done over 100 hours in the last year of that. All that training stuff you guys have available to you if you're tier 3. So, you know, I could think of worse reasons to join. Let me see here. Oil. Let's look at oil, man. Oil has just been a stinker and a half, man. And not just because it smells like money. But man, oh man. So we had this continued push up. I'm still looking at the possibility. Oh, those labels aren't on this daily. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and put these on the daily real quick. If you guys don't mind, give me just 1 second. Daily, there we go. I'm still looking at this potentially as a leading diagonal here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll get an ABC down for 5. Now all we need is an ABC that takes price below wave 3 here at 61.47 or so, 61.74. That's all we need is ABC get below there. But as always, I'm going to look for the descending channel support or descending wedge support as that target there. Locally, what I want to see right now is a breakdown below wave B over here, which is $67.12. Oh, there it is right there. So if we can get that move down there, that'll tell me, okay, we're probably, you know, it adds confidence to the count here. Shorter term, first real clue that top may be in is a breakdown below wave 4 here at $69.93. So if we can drop through that, that's the first real clue that top may be in, and wave 5 may be in progress. Continue dropping down below wave B at $67.12. Should add a lot of confidence to that, and we'll be looking for those lower moves on there. Silver and gold taking a bath. Here we go. Yeah, look at that silver move down, man. So today's the 17th, so since the 15th, we've had this big move down last couple of days here. Down about 7% over the last couple of days, last few days. So big move down. We do have some bullish divergence starting to form here. As you can see, it's kind of getting near my $22 and almost 25-cent target here for my wave 5 of 3. Which should give us a wave 4 back up around this wave 4. So back up around that $23.14 area. And then wave 5 coming down after that. Gold. Not a whole lot different on it. Here we go. Again, same idea from the 14th, 15th kind of area here. You got this drop so far of just about 3.5% on gold. But nonetheless, still a good drop over a short period of time. No bullish divergence yet because we remain above that swing low. But I think we're going to head on lower down here to my wave 3, parentheses 3 target down around 1724. So that's what I'm looking for there. Stochastic RSI on the 1 hour still has quite a bit to go there. So yeah, it's kind of what I'm looking for there. Let me see. E-minis. Let's go here. This is the S&P 500 E-minis here. So getting this this breakdown here, as you can see, if this count is correct, we just broke down below this wave 1. So if the count is correct, that's going to have me looking at this target here. I got to turn this back to black. I forgot about that. I'm looking for a wave 3 target down here of 42.7675. This is the 15-minute chart, so it looks a lot deeper than it is. But 42.7675. And that'll give me that minimum wave parentheses 3 target. Locally, let's see, if we get this breakdown below the swing low here, this is, going to be a 1, 2, and then we'll get a 1, 2, and then maybe a 1, 2, 3, 4. Working on a 5 here gets us a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gets us a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gives us a 1, 1, 2, 3, heading back down there. So that's how I see it's kind of potentially setting up here. Let's see here. There we go. Here's kind of that bigger look at it. As you can see, finding support or trying to find support right here, but we're already into this area. So definitely if we're losing kind of this 43.70, 43.75 kind of area, that really sets up for a drastic fall through that low, taking it down to this low. And I think we can see more of it adding in on the way down. Might take it a little bit of overlapping like we've had to get there. But once we're breaking down through this kind of swing low here, I think we move much more rapidly to the next low. And then once we break through that, much more rapidly to the next low. Right now, everybody's still trying to long, thinking this is just a pullback. And it could be. But our first big clue is going to be the breakdown through this wave circle 4 here at 43, 47, and 75 cents. So our wave 3 target will take us through that. That'll be the first kind of local clue that the top may be in. We really want to see the breakdown below this wave 4, though, over here at $4,040 or $4,040.75. If we get down through that, you shouldn't be thinking that you should be thinking much more downside to come when you're looking at that. Finally, Dow Jones, guys, third of the indexes that we track on a multi times a day basis here. I said multi-times a day basis. Same kind of thing you're looking at with the S&P E-minis we saw there. You're kind of getting this consolidation right around this area here, this support area. So if we can break down that, should take us closer down to the lows here. Locally, 1, 2. If we can get a breakdown below 1. In 5 waves, we'll look for a minimum wave 3 target of 34.148. Though we might see it overextend down here toward the 34.023, which would give us then a lower wave parentheses 3 target down there. Only thing that changes this, guys, if it breaks out above wave 2 here at 34.943 and 55 cents. If it breaks out above that, it's most likely going to break out above the nearby wave parentheses 2 of the larger degree at 34.990 and 36 cents. So if you're breaking above this wave 2, I think you pretty much invalidate this count coming down. And then we've got to readjust and see, okay, is this really a truncated fifth here, or is this still part of wave 4? Is this a 3A, B, C, or maybe a WXY or something printing out here for a wave 4? And so we'll watch for that. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at there. But anyway, that'll do it. We may be getting near a breakout here. See, it's a little bit better. This again is that USDCAD that I'm looking to long on a breakout above that $1 1.27512 area. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. 1.27489. It's this lower one here. Right now we got a 1-2, possibly a 3-4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We might be getting any diagonal here. So we might just break above it, do 5, pull back toward here, and then break out again. And so then I'd be looking to long that. Let me see. Is this a 1, 2, 3, or is this a 1, 2, 1, 2? It's pretty close. It's pretty close to the 1618. I can see this is a 1, 2, 3, 4. And then see if we can get a 5 up around that kind of this 1.27489 kind of area. But yeah, we'll see. It isn't quite 1618, so you know, it could be a 1, 2, 1, 2. A lot of room to go on the 15. It's just now starting to, it's dipping down into oversold here, and then it'll, you know, start to curl a little bit. Let's look for that cross back over there above the signal line there for bullish cross. This 1 hour candle is pretty nice, and this 1 hour with another 16.5 minutes or so left on it is bullishly engulfing it. So very well may confirm that reversal. On the 4 hour, all we did was pull up here just above the swing high, pull back, and now we're trying to get up again. Room to go still on the Stochastic RSI on the 4 hour. Daily hasn't even popped into overbought at the moment here. So it's crossing back bullishly. Under here, usually that leads to a breakout. So I wouldn't be surprised to continue seeing it going up. By the way, notice we have all this consolidation along the daily pivot. I'm not usually a big fan of that. I like to see a clean breakout, a clean retest, and then continuation. So I'm still iffy about these larger targets overall because of this, but we'll see how this plays out. But again, could possibly be a 1, 2, 3, triangle 4, and then 5 up there, heading up. If we're breaking up into here, that R1 pivot gets you about halfway, gets you to the EQ of this supply structure. So that would be a good target. Right up there around 128.90 or so if we get some continuation to the upside on that. Notice that's where my wave 3 target is. 1, 2, 3. So there's some confluence in that target there. So we'll see if we can get that follow through to continue on with it. And really just kind of make us some more money, right? Oh, let me get this back over here. Bitcoin just looking for it to still make that breakout. Still just kind of looking for the breakout of descending resistance. If we can get a an impulsive breakout above the 15-minute pivot, that would be good for showing us some a real good, you know, potential first clue that bottom's in, because it's a pivot. So if you get an impulsive breakout above it, that's usually a good thing. But of course, you want to see the continued breakout through the R1, the swing high right there. If you can see that, I think, you know, again, we head on up here to our targets I already had for 3 and 5 heading up there. But it's got to break out here. If it doesn't do that, we'll continue to look toward the downside, as I talked about earlier. When I trade the USDCAD and got stopped, were you trading mostly on the 1 hour? I got to think about that trade. Yeah, I think I got in on a short. I think I got in on like a 15-minute chart is where I think I got in on. So yeah, it was a shorter term entry because I thought on the longer term that that's where that bottom was potentially going to be, but I wasn't overly sure, which is why I had my stop loss just, you know, whatever it was, 8 pips or 7 pips below, right there below the swing low. Because if I was incorrect, it was going to go further, which, as you saw, it did. So I got, and by the way, guys, I posted all this on Twitter. You know, not all trades are going to be profitable. And I got stopped out twice in a row before I jumped in on my third one that made a lot of money. but they were very little losses. You know, so I had a good trade that went up and made me just under $1,000. I got out when it was above 1,000. It closed out when I was $9.99 and 92 cents. But you know, and then I made another trade that got in at 900 and somewhat dollars profit, and then I had 2 losses in a row, very small losses, you know, 6 to 10 pips or whatever. And then I had, boom, that one I just closed out here. So, you know, it's been really good, easy trading. Yeah, thanks what I did. Some kind of idea for an entry at a Solaris, big push, back to 110. Man, are you hoping? Are you hoping, or are you, or you know, is there some research in that? I know a lot of people are hoping for Solaris to do something. I'm just looking for it to reverse potential for this area. It's hit the target I was talking about. If it didn't get down here at 38.2, I told Discord, our tier 2s and 3 members, we update this one daily right this week because that's when it won the poll. And so I told them to watch for, you know, I was thinking maybe it was going to come to the 38.2, around 113. But I said, be sure you watch this area right here, the EQ of this 4-hour demand structure and this ascending channel EQ here. Because if we can get a rally off that carries it impulsively above this pivot area, that's the clue that you need to say it's going to go up here toward 320 or so. That's what I'm looking for anyway. Let me see. But you can watch for an initial target right here at 250. Let me get this done. $250. That's where I would look for the initial wave 5 target and then the extended wave 5 target up here at about 320. Yeah, I think you've got that larger final push maybe still coming in. You can probably watch for a breakout of this descending resistance as your first clue that that bottom may be in. If you're a little bit more risk tolerant and you want to try and get in a little bit quicker. Yeah. Look for the breakout above that. But really, you're looking for an impulsive breakout above that 4-hour pivot. And then, you know, that should let you in that you're going. Move above 193.3375 will add confidence to it. RSI bounced from just above oversold. Stoke RSI bounced just about off the bottom oversold here. Crossed bullishly, is breaking out of oversold. So I would look for that rally from here if we can get it. But if not, then look for that 38.2 level there. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at. So anyway, there you go, guys. As always, remember, the only thing you control in the market is how much you lose. That's it. So keep working on that risk management. Join us at howtotradetowin.com. We'd love to have you there. Follow me at TXY Capital on Twitter. Sign up for the Market Breakdown, your free weekly macro newsletter there. And not only are you going to learn a whole lot, but you're going to get some trade setups as well. If you go ahead and sign up for it right now, you can still see last week's issue that went out. So I think that'll do it. Like I said, other than that, I'll say the words Alpha Trader, and you guys just pay attention for the next few weeks, and you'll find out what that means, okay? I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Thank you so much for joining in as always. And, you know, we look forward to seeing you on Tuesday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time if I don't see you in Discord before then. Y'all take care, okay?